Hey Flosstube, it's Kerry in Stitches. It's Tuesday 14th, 15th of April, and this is a Flosstube special edition, the Stash Dive. I'm sat in a very strange place today. I'm sat on the floor in front of my stash cupboard. This is where I usually record from, so there's my, oh, there we go, there's my cupboard I usually record in front of. So I'm going to tilt you down so I go out the camera a little bit and show you inside the cupboard. This is where the majority of my stash is stored. I do have my footstool which has all my active whips and my DMC collection, and usually any other things that I don't want to have to put away in the cupboard properly, I just throw them in there. And upstairs I do have my full collection of cross-stitching magazines, so there's approximately 13 years worth of cross-stitcher, 10 years of World of Cross Stitch, and about 7 years of Cross Stitch Crazy. So it's about 25 magazine files, and there's a couple of boxes of box of kits, and also a box of magazine cover kits and some books. So I'll go through that separately, and so let's jump into the cupboard. I might have to adjust the camera slightly, so that's why I'm kind of half chopped off. So this is my stash cupboard. As you can see, I've got all my weeks. This is my weeks collection, which I've just knocked on the floor. Oh. So most of them are sorted alphabetically onto rings, except for with the, I think E and F are on the same ring. So, and then there's a one with just some miscellaneous ones on. So, so that's my weeks. So as you know, I'm in the thread of the month club through Lakeside to get those up. So I'm up to G at the moment. I also, on the other door, have my the gentle art that I've accumulated, and also some classic colourworks, and these are all started skeins. So, but in a pretty rainbow. So I had to do that the other day because it was bugging me. There is also a small amount of other assorted threads. I've got some silks there, some Gloriana, and some Dinky Dyes and Silks for You, as well as some Sparklies, Mo Sail, Dragon Floss, and just a few, some Rainbow Gallery, just a few other sort of threads there, and I need to put the get those around the right way. So in we go. Right, let's do the bottom shelf first because I'm not actually going to get most of that out. So the light's not very good down here. And so this box contains a lot of my finishing stuff. I'm going to go through. I'm going to do a separate finishing video, so I'll go through that another time. There's a basket here which has got my monthly things in, which with the magnets and washers, and also some bits, box of magnets, and the buttons for the rest of them are in here. I don't buy the Jabco beads, I just buy a mixed bag of the 6mm, and they work just fine. And oh, I also have things to be finished in here, so there's a few bits and pieces that need to be finished. I also have a bigger bag full of larger pieces as well. Here is my hexagon quilt, and there's a few random boxes of some Anchor and Madeira threads that I've accumulated, and you can't really see, there we go, it's a bit better. There's a box of fabrics. A lot of these fabrics I've been gifted, and I've just thrown something on the floor. And bits of felt, and just some nice finishing fabrics, and some Liberty and all sorts in there. So my little tub of things to be made into needle minders when I get round to it, and then there's a bag of stuffing at the back. That's all my templates and things to make when I make Christmas felties. So templates, half started ones and things like that in there. Any ones that I've cut out ready. We have some buttons down here. I have another button tin in another drawer. These are predominantly Christmas coloured buttons and the odd charms and things like that. Always ends up being odd packets of buttons too. In there, there we go. And a couple of tubes of buttons that I picked up when the haberdashery closed, so some really cool like light changing ones, and mother of pearl buttons as well. So they live in there too. Right then, so that's the bottom shelf. So I'm just going to adjust the camera slightly, and we're going to go up, 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 which is the main cross stitching shelf. So, okay, let's stop here. So, a couple of bags. This contains my Jodyri threads. So I am bobbinating them as I go. As I use them, I'm bobbinating them. But there is still some in here. I've got a little visitor. Hey, Lard. So that all stays in there. And when I'm just looking for a really good overdyed or a border, I tend to look in there and see if I can find one that matches. This contains all the Lizzie Kate Flip It series, as well as the extra fabric, and I went through and, well, I think I need some more fabric in there. Started pulling some overdyes the best I could to match up, so each of the months are labelled, so they're all in there ready to go. And most of it's either Star Sapphire or Water Lily linen. Oh, let's leave those two bags out. I think we're going to get that out. A lot of things end up having to come out like this. This is my fabric box. So this is one of my fabric boxes. This is the linen box, and it's going to be crinkly because most of them are in biodegradable packaging. So we're just going to take that bit out. So there we go. This is my box of linen. There are linens and inweeds in here from predominantly British dyers. So I've got Crafty Kitten, Chromatic Alchemy, Jodyri and Sparklies in here, as well as a few odd pieces of other bits and pieces that I've picked up in grab bags. I think those three were, that is all pole stitches. That was a pole stitches grab bag. I've got a couple of pieces that my lovely friend Steph hand dyed for me. So these are my this is my precious fabric. I don't use that. I don't use a piece that Audrey Stitchy Witch 42 dyed. Was that the Audrey one, or was that the one that? No, I don't think that's not the Audrey one. This is the one that Rita Marie dyed. Audrey dyed me a similar grey, but that's kitted up. As well as some sample pieces from Sparklies. I want to say this is a colour and cotton, but I could be wrong. No, this is the Hand Dyed Happiness offcut. More offcuts. Just a large piece of Murano. More pieces from some other pole stitches. Got some random 14 count Black Ada. More Ada that shouldn't be in this box. Oh, let's go to the bottom of it. Right. A couple of pieces of Ada that I've tea and coffee dyed that are going to go into the Ada box when we get the Ada box out. So we're tidying up as we go. More hand dyed Ada from Steph. More pole stitches. Just needs putting back in a bag. Edinburgh linen. And then we've got just a piece of the opalescent. Another piece of hand dyed linen. Don't know if that's I'm not sure if that is. No, it's not the same as that. There we go. More black Ada. So the Ada's going on the floor. And then we've got all my hand dyed. So I've got a piece of colour and cotton in there, and there's some more Zweigart at the bottom. Juggling everything. So let's have a look what we've got. Those are all Sparklies samples that she sent me when I did my fabric special. And actually, for me, these are great sizes to use for. I can do small biscorners with those. Certainly my tiny biscorners. So we've got a range of counts in here from 28 count feldspar from Jodyri. 32 count Murano. You alright, lot? In the doorway? You can have a sausage roll. So you know what my daughter's had for lunch now. We've got Crafty Kitten. This was my first piece of hand dyed fabric. So more Jodyri. And some more. Yeah. So those three are my Crafty Kitten ones. 28 count Jodyri. There's some 32 count Jodyri. Some are opalescent, most are not. And then let's put the Jodyris there for a minute. My one and only piece of colour and cotton, which is a 32 count. Yep, cornflower bow. And then we start going into, these are Chromatic Alchemy, and they are 32 count Belfast. So these are my Chromatic Alchemy. Real wide range of colours there. As I said, all 32 count. I think there's one opal in there. And then we have, so you can go at the front, so that's 28. Then we have all my Sparklies. So I'm quite new to the Sparklies club. I've got, and am I stitching anything with Sparklies? No, tight because I'm Chromatic Alchemy. So these are all 35 count linens. So you've seen all these in videos before. These are my two most recent ones. So put these in the box. I do try and keep the box as best I can and count by count, so 28 to 30 plus any of the sort of the bigger pieces. Oh. 28, 32, 28, 28. Sparkly, Jodyri 28 tends to be on, oh, I can't think of the word, 28 count Brittany. So some of these are even weaves and some are linens. My Jodyri is all on an even weave, so I've got Muranos or Brittany's and everything. So, and my Chromatic Alchemies are, and my Sparklies are all linens. And It looks like, yeah, they're a mixture too. The Crafty Kittens are a bit of it, all sorts. I try and keep it in the counts the best I can, just because I find it easier when I'm sorting through. Although I do need to now sort the pile of scrap. Well, it's not scraps, I mean, some of these are pretty good sizes for, I mean, I'd certainly get, that's quite a long piece, but I'd certainly get a Lizzie Kate, one of the strings on. Buzzy string might be nice on that. Anyway, so that's a job for another day. So that's the linen box, which I'm not going to put back in the cupboard just to give me some shuffle room. And then I've got my list of my wish list for, I can't think what it's called, Chromatic Sparklies, there we go. Right, let's move on to the kitted stuff. Planter picked up from the charity shop with one of the festive fobs from Heartstrings Exemplary. Just sits on the front of there because, well, because. I also store my spare project bags in here. A lot of these are kitted up with fabric, but not with what do you call it, that stuff you sew with, thread. There we go. Or if I have, they've got a couple in ready to go. So there we go, I've got my Lizzie Kates, and that is I think it's that stuff. I have no idea what that is. It's either water lily or star sapphire. Couldn't tell the difference. I don't know. And I've got thought I had the snowy string in here as well. I don't know what I've done with that. So that's my Lizzie Kate's Flippets kitted up. They're on the thing for this year. No drama llama. Oh, let's take some of these bits out the front now. And then we've got my Diana bag, my Chessie and Me, which has a couple of fabrics, So these are all my plan starts for this year. So it's my example shine from Chessie and Me, and I chose a Sparklies 35 count oatmeal, and I've got 2 of the threads ready to go. Is that blackboard and caper? I think it is. Blackboard and caper, yeah. The rest are classic Colourworks. So there we go. On the bag. Let's put this on the floor so I can actually show you. I kitted up so many last year that I intended to start, and found that it didn't make a lot of difference, so it was better to kit up. Maybe I think I kitted up 8 this year, and that's worked out much better for me. We've got Prairie Schooler, Santa's House. No threads yet, but that only needs 4 classic Colourworks. So haven't decided whether to do it on this piece of 28 count linen or 40 count BST. So can't decide. That'll happen when I do a Flosstube. I don't have a problem with Coffee Drinker's Confession by Heartstrings Exemplary, and I have Sparklies Barely Bronzed for that. And no threads. Oh. No, let's open that bag a tiny bit more. In my bag from that Daphne made, I've got my Home for the Holidays book, because I've done one of the stockings already, which might be in here or might not be. So I've kept the threads, which weren't the called for, but were the 3 that I went with, in here. And I'm assuming there's a piece of fabric in this bag which has got no, but it does have the messing bendy stitchy chart. So I've stitched one of the stockings already from the book, which was that one. Empty project bags in the way. And this one has my full series of Blackbird designs on the beautiful fabric that Sharon sent me, and that's my first one that I did. And I kept the threads for that book out that I used, so. And that's in my bag from Samantha, who is crafting between stitches. And I also have, I'm actually going to put that chart away in a minute, and this last year's ornament edition. So that's all the kitted up stuff. I'm going to shift that box. Oh. I'm going to have some tidying up to do at the end of this. This is very awkward. Let's see what else was at the front of the tin. That's partly kitted, ready to go. Cross stitcher cover kit. It's just blown out, sorry. Which is that little deer brooch. And then I have a couple, just some Mill Hill and little bee. And I think there's another one in here as well. Yeah, and there's that one as well in here. So, just because I'm more likely to lose those little files, but they seem to live in there. Oh, let's move that out of the way so I can move my leg. So then we have well, actually, let's move that over. Let's move that down to there. And this is my Ada box. So, actually, and it also has some even magic guide in here. Just full of Ada, a lot of it's scraps. There's not many full pieces left in here now. It's good to know on that cream in there. So lots of different colours that I've picked up over my years of stitching. So let's pop those all back in there. Oh, itchy nose. Oh, just a couple of stray sparkles here, which need to go in the other box. As you know, I'm very good at keeping all my scraps for my tiny biscornu. Oh, let's put that box down there. This contains this little, I love these little drawer unit and things. So all sorts of random stuff. Got some wooden buttons and a couple of the pendants for finishing. All random buttons, beads, keychains and whatnots. Beads that aren't Mill Hill, and Mill Hill beads. Random stuff. And the top contains a couple of thread holders and ATCs, stamps even, and some post-it notes and things like that. Just randoms. There we go. So that's for that one. And I have the big one, and I've had this a long time, which contains at the bottom random jewellery making stuff that I really do need to sort out. And then I have a drawer, small finishing stuff. So things like little hoops. Why they're calling them loom frames is beyond me. I have several packs of them. Some stitchable pendants. hangers, more frames, a teeny tiny picture frame that I want to put some black rock in, covered buttons, just random stuff, bookmark tops, more pendants, more hangers, dinky ones, keyring blanks and coaster, oh that's at the top chip topic, yeah, cross-stitch ornament top ones that I've had for years, some magnetic rib coasters, what was that? And just random bits and pieces. I've used the jars before now to mount cross stitch on, so just lots of small finishing things in here. The trims I forgot I had, and some buttons and all sorts in there, and we'll go through that one properly when we do my finishing video. I knew I had yellow rickrack, just knew it. Random hand-dyed threads, so we've got another dragon floss that needs to go in there. I believe that's dinky dyes. Some more dragon floss. Dinky dyes cottons these are. That's my absolute favourite one. That one is Luna Park, I think it's called. Evil metallic stuff. I think that's the dinky dyes cotton. We've got anchor pearl, bit of chromatic, and some really pretty variegated from 21st century yarns, and there's a 4-strand, and they're really nice to stitch with too. We've got, this is my anchor and DMC variegated ones that I'm actually going to try and bobbinate at some point. Right, so that just leaves the charts. So 28 minutes in, charts. So I've got my small charts here. My word, that's dusty. I don't tend to throw charts away. Well, not throw them away, give them away, because I'm a hoarder. So I'm not going to go through all of them, but there is loads of Lizzie Kates, lots that I've been gifted, or won in things, or I've picked them up over time. I picked up a lot of the trilogy ones before So and So closed down, and I intended to do these monthly ones for the Heart in Hand, but only ended up getting 2. Because I was struggling to get them, so monthly marks. But they're really nice because I don't have months on them, and I do love a beehive. And the other one I have is just a little bird, which will be somewhere else anyway. So a few of these. Actually, the house samplers are up on the thing. I really do like those. Now monthly markings mate, which is just a bird. She's cute. We've got a couple of Just Nans, Sweetheart Tree, Jodyri Designs, Celtic Knot, and the Mirror. And then we've got, I had a chart from, can't think of her name, Lorraine at Rags to Riches, a couple of blackwork charts, and a full selection of Main Street, and then the start of Santa's Village. And I've got just a couple of other odd ones, the Snappervilles. One of the first charts I bought was some and I remember buying that from Hobbycraft, and I've lost one of the charts, which I think has got the irises on, and a couple of other Lizzie Kates. So that's all the small ones. It's not only when you see it together like this you realise just how much you've got. Let's take that clip off. And the smaller medium. So, oh, I put that back there where it goes. Stand that there. Let's have a look and see what we've got. And a lot of these I have still not stitched. So, a couple of Prairie Schoolers and the Santa Star that I have. We've got some Just Nans. That's just a chart. Some of these I picked up on Michelle Bendy's D-Stash, actually, some of the Just Nans. My Fair Ladybug and Beehive Violets, which are both quite similar. I do love the little Just Nans. Right, then let's just turn those over and I can put them back in. We've got my Lizzie Kits. Again, quite a few of these. So Lizzie Kates, some gifted, some that I bought myself. Oh, and then we've got Darling and Whimsy Deanna. Have you checked out Caroline Off the Grid Needle Art? Went through some of Deanna's charts on one of her recent videos. See, I store by size and then by so that one needs to go, yeah, store by size and then by designer. That's kind of how I like to do it. So Michelle Bendy, her collab with a blue flower and a couple of other blue flower. Oh, Sleeping Bee. I've got the other bee kitted up in there. I must have missed that bag. We'll look at that one in a minute. So there we go. Ink circles and hands-on design. And then we go into all my hands-on design. So some of the block parties. As you can see, I was gifted as I went to Heartstring Samplery. So some of these I bought, some of them were gifted, some I've won. We've got a couple of Brenda Gervais, we've got O Tannenbaum. They seem very thick then, but they're O Tannenbaum and Marion Bright. This was a full kit that I was gifted on the Sweetheart Tree, and I think it's with all the beads and the purple ink, and one day I'll do it. Kind of Country Cottage and Little House, and then just some odd random ones which round out the end. There's definitely a bee theme going on. My favourite blackwork charts, Undulations, which I haven't done yet. And then I have Zweigart book, and then a load of the Tiny Room Biscornu, Shiny Room even Biscornu charts there that I was gifted. And lastly, just a few of the cross stitcher ones that I really like. So that's the smalls. Oh, and there's down go the threads. Believe me, that happens quite often. They're just command hooks on the door. So let's pop those away. Oh, let's go with those next. So Lavender and Lace one was gifted. Nora, and finishing the mermaids really made me want to do that, and I do love that one. I've always loved Nora's houses. It's just a couple of smaller kits. Definitely need to do that hamster for Lottie. I've got Bent Creek Rose, Summer, Autumn, Winter and Gnomes. Love that Gnomes one, it's so funny. And then what else? Oh, let's put those back there again. Then we move on to the big stuff, and then knock the threads down again. Let's go with that pile first. So I have Spring Row. Bent Creek changed them and then made them all with buttons, and then I have Christmas Row as well. We've got Shepherd's Bush, Waxing Moon. I actually won that. And Ooh, cross stitch, I think. Mermaids, that's just gone back in. Blackbird Sewing Club, Printer's Ink's terrible again. Blue Flower, Kerry Scholars, oop, they've just dropped. Scholar again, Rabbit Run. We've had a couple of Just and 4 Seasons. Heart in Hand, Pocket Sample. For a tiny chart, for a tiny piece, the chart is giant. And has something like 12 colours as well. It seems excessive to me. And then we've got Historical Sampler Company. Michael Powell. And then other old Jane Marshall, Christmas Land, Australian Flora. I must get the other one actually that Fuzzy Fox Designs have brought out. That's been out of it. There's a Mermaid Dance. I've won that on a blog competition. I've never stitched it. Big Nick. I was gifted that chart. Blackwork Dragon, which is really cool. My Big Toe. I've got a Cricket Collection. Princess and the Pea. The Flossmas ornament that 4 boys and a Newfoundland girl design did. One from a Cross Stitch magazine. Oh, and I'll talk a little bit about these books. Let's pop those back in there. This is where it gets quite old now. When one of our department stores closed down, probably 2006, I guess. Well, it became House of Fraser. As you can see, I picked this up for 20p, and I've actually stitched 2 of the samplers out here for my in-laws, and they've got there's their 45th wedding anniversary this year, so I'll have to have a look and see whether there's one in there for that. Ones that I picked up at charity shops, but I just kind of, would I stitch them? I don't know, but I kind of quite like them. These I love. These are Blackwork. I can't even speak. Kits, I think. Yeah, it's a kit. I've stitched this one. They're actually hand-drawn charts. I've stitched that one. I can't see if that one's hand-drawn or not. But yeah, I've stitched that one, and we lost it in a house move. The frame got broken, got knocked off the wall when we moved some furniture when we moved to where we are now, and I put it carefully in a plastic bag, and then it went in the box, and I don't know what happened to it. So, and then I was Melanie Smith Yarns and Threads found some Blackwork charts when she was thrifting, and sent me some of those. I also have a load more Blackwork upstairs as well, and then just I've stitched. I don't think it's not on, but so I can see. Something sticky's gotten on with these. I've stitched that before now, and the horseshoe there. I've stitched that a couple of times for different people's weddings. I've stitched the veil pulls from here. So as you can see, I really do quite like Blackwork. Somebody's asked me to do a Blackwork video. Did I say that a few minutes ago? I may have done. So I'm going to go through my Blackwork stuff in a little bit more detail in another video. So Lynn, I will make that video for you at some point in the future. So let's just pop all these away. You know, once I get it all back in, it's never. Oh, there we go. So there we go. Oh, and I still didn't put those other 2 charts away. So that's my. Well, moving to the camera now. So that's my cross stitch cupboard. I hope you enjoyed a little peek into how I organise and do things. As this video is now 40 minutes long, I will do the kits, the books and the charts in a stash dive number 2. So happy stitching and stay safe, and I'll see you all in my regular Flosstube next week. Bye bye! Thanks for watching my channel and leaving me such great comments. They really do mean a lot. Thanks for all the likes, the subscriptions. Don't forget to hit the bell to receive notifications of my new videos, and happy stitching!